Tensions between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan are escalating once again, this time over the Kurds. It all started when Netanyahu publicly extended Israel's support to its Druze allies and Kurdish friends in the region. This was seen as a direct message to Kurdish groups, including those in Syria and Iraq, who have long sought greater autonomy.
לגבי יתר החזיתות, צבאות הטרור לא יהיו יותר בגבולותינו. אחרי שהורדנו את החיזבאללה בלבנון על ברכיו, ואחרי שהשמדנו את צבא אסד בסוריה, לא נאפשר לאויבינו בלבנון ובסוריה להתעצם מחדש. בד בבד, ידנו מושטת לבני בריתנו הדרוזים ולידידינו הכורדים באזור.
Erdogan wasted no time responding. He accused Israel of trying to exploit Syria's instability and warned that any attempt to divide the country along ethnic or religious lines would fail. His message was clear. Turkey will not tolerate what it sees as Israeli interference in the region.
Bölgemizin bir asır önce olduğu gibi tekrar yeni haritalar üzerinden dizayn edilmesine, parçalanmasına, ayrıştırılmasına müsaade etmeyeceğiz. Pusuda bekleyenlere, ellerini ovuşturanlara fırsat vermeyeceğiz. Terörsüz Türkiye hedefiyle yürüttüğümüz çalışmaların amaçlarından biri de işte bu kirli ve kanlı planlara engel olmaktır.
This is just the latest chapter in long-running rivalry between the two leaders over the years. Netanyahu and Erdogan have clashed over Israeli actions in Gaza, the role of Hamas, and Israel's ties with regional Kurdish groups. Earlier, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, has announced a ceasefire with Turkey. This decision follows a call from its jail leader, Abdullah Öcalan, who urged the group to disarm. The PKK has been in conflict with the Turkish state for 40 years, fighting for greater Kurdish autonomy. Over 40,000 people have died in the violence, according to Al Jazeera. Öcalan, who founded the group in 1978, remains highly influential even though he has been imprisoned since 1999. Now, the PKK says it's ready to hold a congress to finalize its disarmament, but only if Öcalan can personally lead it. Turkey's neighbor Iraq has welcomed this move, calling it an important step toward regional stability. However, the situation remains complicated. The PKK operates in northern Iraq's Kurdish region, where Turkey frequently conducts military operations. This has been a major source of tension between Baghdad and Ankara.
Please identify yourself.
Thank you very much. Rahim Rashidi from Kurdistan TV. First, what is your opinion of Kurdish forces Peshmerga role in fight against ISIS? Do you think the Peshmerga should be armed? And second question, if Kurdistan will be a state, how important is it for the stability in the region? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. If I have to think about any kind of settling the chaotic situation in Syria as well as in Iraq, we have the two Kurdish sectors in Iraq and Syria. The only way that we can believe in is to have a kind of federation. There is no way to unify Syria. Those who are talking about strategy to unify Syria, to have Bashar al-Assad or someone else leading Syria, no chance, wishful thinking. And to talk about a kind of federation, we have already Alawistan led by Bashar al-Assad. He controls today 30% of his former territory. That's it. We have Syrian Kurdistan already. We know that the Turks are not happy with it. But at the end, there is a Kurdish autonomy in Syria. there is a Kurdish autonomy in Iraq. We might think about Druzistan in Syria. They might cooperate with the regime as they do now. The problem is with Sunnis, yes. When it comes to the Sunnis, we have Daesh, Jabhat al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda followers, Muslim Brotherhood elements, and moderate Sunnis as well. So, first of all, let's find a way to have a kind of a federation or whatever with those who agree to have this kind of federation. And then fighting the other or whatever. The problem is that there are so many contradictory interests regarding the situation in Syria as an example. There are those who support Bashar al-Assad regime, like Iran, Hezbollah, Russia today with its intervention in Syria. And even Western parties believing that, first of all, Iran should be a central part of the settlement, of the solution, as I mentioned earlier. So the Kurds so far demonstrated their capabilities to fight Daesh when they were supported. Why not to support other moderates in Syria, like Sunni moderates, to fight for their cause? Most of them were ignored. Western parties decided to sit on the fence. And the Kurds in Syria were defeated by Daesh, Kobani, well-known Kobani, to the point that they started to get support. And then you have to settle this contradictory interest with Turkey. Saudi Arabia has its own interest. Yes, there is a need for different grand strategy regarding Syria. But the idea to unify Syria back to become as it was in the past is wishful thinking.